Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? This is L.A. Kendrick from the House of Havoc, bringing you part two of It Wasn't Invited. Okay, these are nightly stories, should say weekly stories, so we get you something at least a couple of times out of the week, so that we have the entertainment ready for you guys. Okay. With that being said, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, when we last left the family and our man Joe, he had experienced the streaking and running around of the entity that he can't make heads or tails of. He doesn't know what it is. But within the next 4 to 5 months, even 4 or 5 to 6 months, it's everything changes for the worse for him. Okay. Now, bear in mind that his older brother has finally gone off to the military, and the next to the oldest brother, which is the one that's always taking him to the bathroom, he's graduating from high school and about to go off to college. And so he lets Joe know, and he has a nickname for him. He calls him CP30 because he always has to take him to pee in the middle of the night, urinate, whatever you want to call it. And he lets him know, hey, you're going to have to suck it up, young man, little brother, little bro, you got to suck it up, all right? I'm not going to be around, so whatever fears you got about going to the bathroom by yourself, you got to get over it because I'm not going to be here. The burden falls on you now. He says, okay, even though he's scared, because everything has died down as far as him seeing things and hearing things. He still sees things dart out of the corner of his eyes occasionally, but it slowed down because he was with his brother. So he made sure that he wasn't alone in the dark parts. So when it's night, he made sure that he wasn't alone, or he stayed in his room and he didn't get up. He watched what he drank, he watched what he ate, so he didn't have to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. So he learned how to manage stuff to a degree. And his brother actually didn't have to take him to the restroom as much as he's saying. So within that 5 to 6 month time frame, his parents get a divorce, which is devastating news for any kid. And the dad, he goes to the dad and asks the dad what happened and why couldn't they work things out and what's going on. And he says that he still loves you. He loves his son and his daughter and his sister and the whole family. But him and his mom just couldn't work things out, irreconcilable differences, couldn't work things out. Trying to explain to a child the best that you can with such a traumatic situation and a moving situation such as a divorce can be. And he lets them know, hey, if you want to come stay with me, you can. If not, you can stay here with mom, but my door's always open and I'm going to be here. I'm not gone. I'm not going to not be in your life. I'm going to be in your life. So his son says, okay, and he says, thanks. And he's going to hold him to it. You know how kids try to be. Joe's trying to be strong and joke around with his dad about the situation and the issue. So as time progresses, things start picking up. The activity, the paranormal activity starts to pick up again. The demon, the entity, whatever it is, the activity starts to pick up again. Outside of his door at night, it just starts to get more intense. So one day, his mom decides to go to the store. His sister is in another part of the house, but his mom decides to go to the store. Says, no kids in the house. And she lays down the ground rules she's always had. And so with that, Joe's outside playing with his friends, getting all dirty, having a good time. Just having a really good time out there with the kids. Kids being young, you know how they do. And so his mom doesn't like when he runs in and out of the house, so Joe's being real cautious about how much he comes in and out of the house. So he runs in the house after, working up a good sweat, and he runs in the house and he goes to the refrigerator and he gets some water out and he pours it in a cup. And he's drinking it and he's catching his breath and he's enjoying the water. Just a few seconds of water, right? When out of the corner of his eye, he sees it in the laundry room on top of the washer. You can see it clear as day. It crawls over the top and its head comes around the corner like a snake. He said it had the face of one of those aliens in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And it sneaks around with those big old black, lifeless eyes. Slit for a mouth, real pale skin, and then it licks its tongue out and it crawls over the top of the washer. And you can hear the fingernails and everything digging into the washing machine. When Joe sees this, he drops that cup. He's wilding out. He runs out of that house as fast as he can, out there to his friends, and he's out of breath, and he's pale and he's shaking, he's trembling. And his friends are going, well, you know, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that, man? What's going on? You act like you just seen a ghost. And then Joe tries to explain what he just saw. And they say, oh, you're just making it up. You're going crazy. Yeah, show us. So one of his friends, the friend that has the aunt that has these issues, he believes him. So they go in against his mother's rules. They go into the house and they look at the dryer. Nothing's there. They look at the washing machine and you can see a handprint where it squeezed the top of the washer. Now they believe him. And the kids run out. They run back outside. They're getting them, they're shaking their heads and they're telling him, hey, you know, I'm ready to go. I need to go home. And they're nervous, so they leave. Even though his sister's still in the house, Joe doesn't go back in. He sits outside and calmly waits for his mom to get back from the store. When she pulls up, he helps her with the groceries. He takes the groceries out of the car and she's like, well, what's going on with you? You look shook. You look scared. What's going on? Oh no, I'm just glad to see you, Mom, and let me help you with those groceries. She's kind of shocked because he never does this without being told or asked to help her, right? So she says, what's gotten into you again? He says, well, you know, Dad's not around and my brothers are gone. So I have to pick up some of the responsibilities and be a man. And she said, okay, that's my big boy. That's my little man. Okay, I appreciate that. Come on in. I got some good food for you. Got some good snacks for you. So they go into the house. She sets up the groceries. She puts the things up, and then she goes to the washer. And she asks Joe what happened to it and where the dent come from. He's trying to explain it. The sister walks in and says she heard a loud thump, but she didn't think anything of it. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't think anything of it. But the mom is trying to get she's angry because the washing machine has been damaged. And she's trying to figure out what happened and get the truth out of Joe. And Joe's reluctant to tell her, but he does. He tries to tell her to the best of his ability. And she kind of believes him. And then the sister looks and she wants to say more, but she doesn't say anything. All she keeps repeating is that she heard the loud thump. But his mom is still angry, and she calms down a little bit, and she's trying to figure out the machine's not damaged to the point it can't be used, but it's still a huge mark, and there's damage done to the washing machine. And he admits, yeah, I had some kids into the house. I had brought them in to be witnesses to what I had just seen, and they left. He said, but they didn't touch anything, and she believes him because she knows her kids are pretty honest kids. And she's rubbing her face and she's shaking her head and she's trying to make some sense out of it, and she can't. And she looks at him and she gives him a hug, and that's where I'm going to leave the story. Right? It becomes more intense as the story progresses on. Okay, so you guys do me a favor: like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what I can improve on, okay? If you want to donate, my Cash App is $ capital O for outrage, capital O, outrage 95, okay? Feel free to donate. It helps out. Again, I have published work already on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Nook, however they say it, Kindle, Ingram. I've got work all over the place, and right now I'm trying to get the next 2 books that I already have finished and completed, ready to go, okay? And any donation helps, so it doesn't matter if it's 25 cents, $1, it doesn't matter. Any little bit helps. It goes towards keeping the work going, okay? And so tomorrow, we're going to add more to it. So again, the title is It Wasn't Invited. This was part 2. Part 3 will be showing tomorrow, all right? Tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. And like I always say, make sure you check your closets, under your bed, the dark recesses and corners of your house. And if you happen to go outside and have to work at night, make sure you look under that car, because you never know what's lurking in the dark, waiting to make you a story. And this has been L.A. Kendrick from the House of Havoc, bringing you the heavy.